It's time for Insight, an inside view of what's happening in South Jersey. Join your hosts Anthony Fanucci and Jim Quinn as QVC brings you Insight with Anthony and Jim.
Hello everyone and welcome to Insight. I'm Jim Quinn along with Mayor Anthony Fanucci from the city of Vineland, and we're going to be talking about some of the wonderful things that are going on in Vineland. And Mayor, before we start, I have a trivia question for you.
Uh-oh.
Okay, now you'll know this, I'm sure. Do you know who the Vineland High School quarterback was in 1974 when you were in kindergarten?
Reed Nelson?
No, you were close. Somebody closer to you than that.
Butchie Ducharme? No.
Somebody that very close to you.
74?
In your building. Used to be in your building.
Who?
Keith Petrosky.
Keith. Oh, my man. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, so, one of my friends mentioned that to me, and I said, I do remember that. And the other thing that was interesting was that Keith just retired.
Yes, he did. We just had a beautiful retirement celebration for him.
Nice. 36 years, was it?
Yeah, 36 or 38.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, he's a legend.
Yeah, he really is.
You know, fantastic. I didn't realize he was the quarterback then.
Yeah. I know Reed Nelson was. I remember him because, of course, I used to do the Vineland Millville games all the time.
Yes,
on radio
and
TV.
you know, I was trying to gauge like who in that age bracket would have been there, and you know, I guess I just sometimes don't peg Keith for that time frame. But you're right.
Yeah.
So look at the map.
I was surprised with my friends. And I did sort of remember him that one year playing. And then, of course, Keith did play-by-play for me for Vineland football. We covered that all the time. Yeah, we really. Bill Dudley, actually. Remember Bill
Mr.
Dudley?
Dudley, sure.
Yeah. I miss him.
Yeah.
Has he moved out of the area?
I haven't seen him in a very long time,
Yeah.
so I almost want to say the answer is yes to that.
Yeah.
Who did the commentary with Coach Parentazzi?
Well, I think John also did it with a coach.
Okay.
Yeah, because John Parentazzi was the other color commentator when Dudley retired. John took over. Boy, what a wonderful man he was.
Coach was great.
He and Tony Cerace were such good friends. And the nice thing was they voted to name the Daily Journal trophy the John Parentazzi, Tony Cerace trophy that's given to the Vineland Millville team, whoever wins the Thanksgiving
Just
game.
two great guys right
Yeah.
there. Coach Cerace,
Yeah.
just phenomenal human being. Coach Parentazzi, great.
Love this
I mean,
personality.
Paul Spinelli and Coach Parentazzi were
And they did officiating.
they were
right?
as thick as thieves.
Yeah.
Those two.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
They just great. I really miss Coach. I remember when it was time for me to go to high school, and they were, you know, I of course went to St. Augustine. I didn't go to Vineland.
Yeah.
I originally had wanted to go to Vineland. My mom made the decision I was going to St. Augustine, and Coach Parentazzi was mad at me because I didn't go to Vineland to play football, and for a little while. So when I worked at Buena Vista Country Club as a kid, I used to clean golf clubs and wash golf carts.
Oh, I see.
Coach would come in and he'd always give me that look because, you know, he was an avid golfer, him and Chalky and Paul and, you know, and a whole group of those guys. And I'd be like, hey, Coach. Anthony. I'd be like, I know, Coach. I know. Because my freshman, sophomore year, there was no football at St. Augustine.
Oh, I didn't
It wasn't
realize
until
that.
my junior year we got the program.
Wow, but what a great program.
Finally, we got the program, and I saw him one summer. I'm like, Coach, I'm playing. I know you are.
Boy, they've had a great program at St. Augustine Prep for many, many years.
Yeah, considering where we came from, very
Yeah.
humble beginnings.
Yeah, right.
We used to use the field at Michael Debbie Park. You know, we didn't have anything.
Oh, that's right.
You
Yes,
know,
I do remember that. Yeah.
Coach Ducharme, Coach DeRucci, and Coach Chapman, Jim Chapman, were our three coaches.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, so
Wow.
Mr. DeRucci was, rest his soul, was our head coach.
Oh, that's nice.
And then Butchie Ducharme, of course,
Yeah.
was all the offense
Yes,
and all the
right.
flash, and boy, did he have it.
Yeah, he
You know?
did. He was quite a
We learned special attitudes from Coach Ducharme. And Mr. Chapman, do you remember Jim Chapman?
Yeah, I do.
So
Yeah.
Mr. Chapman was just a good old Southern man, and, you know, heart of gold, tough as nails, though. He would yell at us when it was time to hit the blocking sled. You know, he's like, boys, you got to go boom. You got to hit this thing right now here. You know, I don't know. Mr. Chapman had to be in his 60s at that time
Yeah.
coaching.
Yeah.
And this guy would hit the blocking sled with no helmet, no
Oh my
pads, no
God.
nothing, and he'd be driving it down the field. We thought he was crazy. We had some good times, though. You know?
That's great. I'm glad
Yeah.
that-
Good memories of good people.
Yeah.
I've been blessed to be surrounded by some really great mentors in my young life to help me get where I am today. That is for sure.
It's interesting. I don't know if you probably don't know the fellow, but Nick Luciano is my Phillies ticket agent, and he went to Sacred Heart till they closed. Then he had to switch over to St. Augustine Prep.
Related to Duke?
It's Duke's great grandson.
How about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. In fact, when I first met him, I said, "Are you related to Duke?" He goes, "Yeah, that's my great grandfather." And what a nice fella. In fact, it's interesting. He's gotten me. You know, I don't know if you've been out there or not. Pickwick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The doctors collectively own that.
Oh, do they? I didn't.
Chapdelaine, Dendrinos, and them.
Oh, okay.
You know, their food's really pretty good out there.
is.
I'll
Well,
tell you what.
Yeah, I tell you. I mean, I've only been there twice, both of the times with Nick. But Friday night when I was there, I had shepherd's pie. My God, it was delicious. You know, one of their Irish specialties.
Tell you what, they make some damn good ribs. You know, they have barbecued pork.
Oh wow.
I'll tell you, they actually catered an event at my house. Oh geez. One summer, and I can't remember which year it was, but they came out, and Jim, when I tell you the spread they put out, it was unbelievable.
Wow.
And they were extremely price competitive. They were great, and I mean, I more or less didn't care, but they were so good about it. And the food portions were incredible. They were flavorful. Their staff that came to serve and clean and everything were wonderful.
Yeah, their staff is
they
fantastic.
were on point with time. And Ari, you know, Dr. Dendrinos' son,
Oh, okay.
is, you know, was running the show at that point, and he was just, they did a fantastic job. Flavors were amazing. I'll be honest with you, I love good barbecue.
Well, I don't eat that anymore, but I'm
Yeah.
sure it's so.
I'm not supposed to.
Everything I've had there was so good, and the people are so nice. They really are.
Mm-hmm.
It was, very. In fact, I can only eat half the portion and
Yeah.
took the other half home and had it the next evening for dinner. But
Oh, yeah.
they do a nice job. So I was glad Nick picked that place because I had never been there, and now I've been there twice, and I'll be back.
It's a nice environment. They have
Yeah.
good music.
Yeah.
You know, I don't really belly up to a bar much anymore because
Yeah.
it's just not
Right.
me at my age at this point. But
Yeah.
they have a beautiful bar in there when you come
Yeah,
in.
they do.
And they have
Yeah.
a regular crowd.
Yeah.
You know, of course, I went to school right up the street.
Yes.
So I've seen that place turn over from thing to thing to thing.
Yeah.
And now they've done this, and they've done well. They have a little banquet room type situation upstairs,
Oh, okay.
like a little private room thing.
Yeah, they were packed Friday night.
That's great. I'm glad to hear that because you know what, they're good people, and
That's good.
you always, I don't know, I'm the guy always rooting for success.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
there's a lot of people hating from the cheap seats, but I want people to be successful.
Yeah, that's super. Well, you know, speaking of meals and things, I won't mention the restaurant, but this restaurant, when you come here for $15, there's two for $30 menu. You get a soup or a salad, entree, 2 vegetables, and a dessert. I've gone to a place recently, a couple times. You do not get a salad. You do not get a vegetable unless you want to order it separately. You get the entree and maybe a few steak fries, they call it, or something like that. And that's it. And it's $30-some. So it's more than the price of 2 meals here for $30-some. So here, you bring 2 people in, and it's a select menu, but it's a very good menu. I usually get turkey. And this place is fantastic. I know the mayor comes here for breakfast a lot too, and his family's sitting over here having dinner, and he'll be getting his takeout dinner on his way home. And it's just a great place to come, folks. And you know, you get a chance. Think about the Queen restaurants at Lincoln, Atlantis, and Vineland, one of the nicest looking restaurants in the city of Vineland, and good people. And my favorite Fati is here tonight. And I do go to the Millville Queen as well.
Another great spot.
It is, yeah, absolutely. And there, they've even lowered the price to 2 for $28. And my
How about
friend
that?
Joe and I usually go there on Monday nights. And
Joey Pepperton.
no, well, actually, Joe, he and I do sometimes. Joe Pierce. Joe, this is a funny story. When I opened Bim's Pizzeria in Millville 52 years ago, Joe was 16 at the time. And he was basically my manager, even though he's still in high school. He ran the place and eventually ended up owning it, has had it ever since. And unfortunately, His beautiful wife passed away about 6 months ago of cancer. So we get together and usually once a week and have dinner and talk about good times and things like that. But he's a really good person. Anyway, that's, I guess, enough for the food. Got the big story, making action news, is going to be coming up right after we take time out for these messages here on Insight.
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Many people treat their health like a game. With Complete Care Health Network, it's easy to start your healthcare journey. Just select from our specialties and schedule online, by phone, or on our app. Our entire team communicates with one another, so everyone works together on your total health. Plus, we make it even easier with all of these additional benefits. Level up your health with us. Complete Care Health Network. No games, just great health care for everyone.
The most important decisions a family can make are usually made around the kitchen table. At DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home, we believe pre-planning and the difficult decisions you face with the loss of a loved one should also be made around the comfort of a table, like a family. Our friendly, kind, and compassionate staff is committed to helping you get through this most difficult time. In your time of need, trust DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home, Vineland.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
It's time for Insight, an inside view of what's happening in South Jersey. Join your hosts Anthony Fanucci and Jim Quinn as QVC brings you Insight with Anthony and Jim.
Welcome back to Insight. I'm Jim Quinn along with Mayor Anthony Fanucci, and we're talking about the big story, making action news. The mayor, tell everybody all the great thing, or the big thing that's happening in Vineland.
Oof, a lot of big things right now, which is great as usual. You know, we love all the good news. So a couple things that are happening. One is the announcement of our new convention center came out.
Yeah.
And that is going to be right on Landis Avenue in downtown. We're repurposing the former Amish market and turning that into a downtown convention center. We're going to begin renovations very soon on the inside of the building, and then the exterior is going to have a little bit of a facelift to you know, look really good.
Right.
And already, in just a little bit that we've leaked out the information, people are already booking events.
Oh, that's fantastic.
If you can believe that. So Sandy Foresiski is going to be handling it through her department.
Right.
As usual, we like to add a little bit to Sandy's plate whenever possible.
She's amazing.
But she came up with the idea and ran it past me, and I said, you know what, Sandy, that's phenomenal. This is really great. We could use that. We could do so much, and it's going to help all the businesses, the hotels, the restaurants, right? All the downtown, all up in the other areas, over by the mall. So we have some great partnerships we put on tap for that, and it's going to be amazing. But we have an individual that we're bringing on staff that's going to be working for us, that's going to manage and run the bookings and the day-to-day,
that's good.
Which will be fantastic. And an article hit NJ Biz today, I believe, and went out, and I've been getting a bunch of text messages because it's been all over the place, and like Newsbreak app and this and that.
Yeah,
so
I saw it through the Daily Journal. Joe Smith did a story.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Well, Joe. I like Joe.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
It's amazing how newspapers have changed. Joe used to go to our meeting when I was the mayor of Millville. You had 4 newspapers there, the Press, the Daily Journal, three, I guess, Bridgeton Evening News. Now there's none that go at all.
Yeah, we have the...
do you have somebody cover you?
Voice of Vineland.
Oh, okay.
No, Vineland Voice, it's called. It's part of the Hamilton Gazette group.
Oh, okay.
and they've recently entered into the city and our weekly publication. I signed up for it. I get it at the house once a week, mailed out. They do a great job so far. They're covering everything.
Oh, that's good.
You know, Joe Smith obviously still covers all the big stuff because this is his beat.
Yeah.
You know, it's sad. It's not like it once was with the paper here, where you know how it is when you would sit back when I was a city councilman, sit in a council meeting, you'd look over in the press area, and you'd have Tom Barless from the AC Press, and you'd have Joe Smith from the Journal, whoever else was covering that night, Anthony Coppola for sports, and all these guys and ladies, and Debbie Marco, and
that's right. Yeah.
It's different.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Well, everything's online. I mean, I find about stuff, people passing away on Facebook, although I do get the Daily Journal online, so I can check the obits there. But yeah, it's very interesting. And a lot of the crime that's going on in Millville, I get it off the Millville not the city's website. Somebody, has put together a Facebook website, Millville Good, Bad, and Ugly, or something like that. And I guess for Millville's sake, we're probably glad they don't have a newspaper, because it's been an awful. Just had a stabbing recently, and some killings and shootings and all that stuff. And
what's going on over there? Are they? I understand the police force numbers are kind of down.
They are, they're down because they haven't given them the salary they need to give to get people to sign up. And I mean, I've had the sheriff on. I know they're hurting getting people. Luckily, you guys pay well, so you're okay. But Millville's down at least 8, maybe. And then some people were complaining they gave promotions, which I don't have a problem with that, but they don't have the officers. Somebody told me Millville runs with maybe just 5 officers, and that's 44 square miles of land. And
wow,
and the problems are too. There's still gangs, and the gangs are retaliating against each other. That's where your shootings occur. And of course, as I always say, drugs are the cancer that's eating away at our society, and that's one of the big things that happens. And an awful lot of people have illegal guns too, so that's not
it's
a
a shame
situation.
When you talk about where a city like Vineland has flourished in a number of years, and you're right, we do pay our officers very well. That's extremely important, and I've worked with our police unions to be able to do that. And believe me, we've made financial sacrifice in the city for a number of years to be able to compensate the men and women that are police officers and firefighters and EMTs to really keep our staff robust. And it's expensive, right?
Sure,
but
absolutely.
if you don't have law and order, you don't have fire protection and or prevention, and you don't have good emergency medical services, you're not servicing your community well. You've got no economic retention, let alone economic development, right? And we're booming because, yes, we've reinvested into, public safety sector for the city of Vineland. It's extremely important. And I'll tell you, even when it hurts, I tell the residents, people are moving in here because of a reason. They're not moving out of here,
you need that. It's interesting. A friend of mine, her son, who I friendly with too, Cameron was his name, and he was #1 in the Millville the police academy up in Gloucester, whatever. I went to the ceremony. He was the #1 police officer for the Millville branch, all the things, especially the physical and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I don't think he stayed 6 months. He's now a Delaware State Trooper, and I many times run into New Jersey State Troopers who are former Millville police officers too. So each level needs them, and if you don't pay the monies you need to pay them to retain them, then they're gone. So that's what hurts.
They were poaching our best men and women for quite a while until we worked to get very competitive on our salary scale. We would lose them to the state police, and then we would lose them to the different townships outside of Cumberland County, because they had a shorter step guide, or they were able to have more money. And people in the unions always ask the question, well, how come cities don't pay better? Well, when you're competing against the whole state, or you're competing against that township, there's pools of money there, right, that are coming in from all over. For us, we pay extremely well, but I'll be honest with you, Jim, I wish we could afford to pay our first responders in all those areas more money.
Yeah, well, thank God they have the heart for what they're doing, and they love what they're doing. But Millville has good first responders, I will say. I've actually had to use them from time to time, and I've been very pleased. John Feldis, who's Father Jack was the mayor of Marshall Township, is the head of the EMS in Millville, and he and his staff, they do a really good job.
Millville's got a lot of great people in it.
Yeah.
You know, it's just sad that they fight back and forth, and politically, if you will. You know, and it's been a battle. I mean, you know, frankly, we've talked about this before. The form of government sets you up for failure.
Yeah, it does.
Doesn't really allow you to do what you do in today's day and age. You know, maybe many years ago it worked, and frankly, I know when you were around it did. But I think right now, without having really true defined leadership, like our Faulkner Act form of government gives, right? Executive and legislative, it's not great in today's day and age. It's really hard.
Now, it's outdated, as we talk about. There are very, very few commission forms of government left in the state. When I was there, I tried to get it on the petition, but the other commissioners didn't want it. So, you know, I understood, because they were sort of like the mayor of their own department. But if you don't have the right mix of people, and I always give you credit, because where's this success come in the city of Vineland? This man brings a lot of it to the table because he's a businessman, he's college graduate, he's intelligent, he's knows how it was to run an insurance business, a real estate business. That means a lot when you go in, because government is a big business, you know, and it wasn't that tough of a transition for you, Mayor.
You know, and I think my levels of government prepared me.
That's true. The school board and the council too.
Yeah, and right. But I never, you know, I wasn't a guy that was running for office for ego or for title. I ran for office the first time, you know, because I wanted to give back to the community. And that's when I ran for the Board of Ed in 2006, got reelected there in 2009, and then won the election in 12 to become the council president, and then 4 years after to become the mayor for the first time. Now, never realizing I was going to be a 3-term mayor, which is amazing.
Not to us who know how good you are, and maybe to you. I honestly, and I say this sincerely, I think you could be the mayor for as long as you want to be the mayor of Vineland, because what a wonderful job you've done. And I know it's the Keith Petrosky, Sandy Forsiskis, and all the people that you give credit
Bobby
to.
D, Rick Tanetta,
Bobby D,
you know,
Rick's,
so many people. I mean, I tell you, for as much frustration and aggravation comes in serving in government sometimes, because there's just some mountains you just can't move, even though you keep trying to push on them. I am very grateful to have a team around me like I have, because they not only give you the support, but they have the faith in my decision making and my vision on where I want to see Vineland go. And people are like, "You've taken Vineland to new heights." I'm like, "Wow, you know what? Yes, you know, I'm the captain of the team, but we have a team, right?" And I said, "But I'm not done." I said, "We have these 4 years now in front of us to not only look at the heights we've taken it, but to set the bar even higher." And my goal is to not stop until, you know, I'm completely satisfied, which will probably be never. But I will term limit myself at some point, because, you know, I don't believe in you being here forever, right? I think that as long as you're productive and you can add to it, you have the stamina for it, you should do it. But I also believe there's a time that you have to, you know, you've built the foundation, you've built the house, you know, and now it's time to turn the keys over to someone that, you know, can also come in with great ideas, a fresh look, that kind of stuff. And, you know, and that's going to be the job now as we're excelling more in Vineland for the next few years and identifying a successor. You know, just it's a lot. You know how it is. It's a lot on your family. It's a lot on your business.
True. I was thinking that for Stacy and the girls.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot on you. You know, and my problem is, much like you know, when you were a commissioner and a mayor, your heart's on your sleeve. You eat and breathe and sleep your city, and your passion is in it. You know, Vineland's been a wonderful city to me, in my businesses and raising my family, and you know, being a great place for me to grow up. You know, Cumberland County has had so much to offer. I have friends all over the place, and it's hard. You know, it's one of those bittersweet moments when you finally walk out that door.
Yeah, well, you got a long time. Yeah, that's going to happen. You're still a young guy.
Yeah,
and you're looking great.
In mayor years, I'm 150.
We're talking with Mayor Anthony Fanucci from the city of Vineland and our Insight program. We'll be back with more right after these messages.
Life puts a lot of demands on us. There's our jobs, those community and charity projects, our friends and the demands of the family,
Happy birthday.
birthdays and homework, the upkeep and maintenance of our homes, cars and possessions. Maybe it's time to really weigh out the things of greater importance, our relationship with God. Let us help you. New Life Church, Millville, New Jersey.
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Many people treat their health like a game. With Complete Care Health Network, it's easy to start your healthcare journey. Just select from our specialties and schedule online, by phone, or on our app. Our entire team communicates with one another, so everyone works together on your total health. Plus, we make it even easier with all of these additional benefits. Level up your health with us. Complete Care Health Network. No games, just great health care for everyone.
The most important decisions a family can make are usually made around the kitchen table. At DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home, we believe pre-planning and the difficult decisions you face with the loss of a loved one should also be made around the comfort of a table, like a family. Our friendly, kind, and compassionate staff is committed to helping you get through this most difficult time. In your time of need, trust DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home, Vineland.
It's time for Insight, an inside view of what's happening in South Jersey. Join your hosts Anthony Fanucci and Jim Quinn as QVC brings you Insight with Anthony and Jim.
Welcome back to Insight. I'm Jim Quinn along with Mayor Anthony Fanucci. We're talking about some of the great things that are going on in Vineland. I had Ben ProServe,
Ben Laurie.
Ben Laurie on with me the other day. Yeah, he's County Commissioner Director for Salem County, but we were talking about his building and his businesses in the Vineland Industrial Park. And I say every time I go up there to see my buddy Ray Cronk, that place is packed. That's fantastic. I'm so proud of you and Sandy and all your council and everybody. It's just wonderful to see. My goodness, there must be thousands of jobs up there.
Oh, yeah.
And the cold storage and, and again, the other thing that's beneficial that we've talked about in the past is Vineland has their own electric utility. So if I own cold storage and I got a choice between Vineland Electric Utility that is much more reasonable than Atlantic Electric Utility, I want to get in Vineland. I really do.
That makes a big difference on the bills because, everywhere you could save, you can save. Yeah. And electric, they're very high users.
Yes.
It's a blessing, really. So for us, that's why we've enhanced our infrastructure there. We're always upgrading. We're always assessing. We're always looking for better ways to operate more efficiently,
right.
And how we can power more things and be more to more people, And it's important. People don't realize that when you have something like that, you have to really, not only does it take a lot to run it, but it takes a lot to maintain it.
Yes.
So we're adding some jobs this year that are posted now for some folks to get into succession because you have an aging workforce too. And the thing there is, of course, is that when you have men and women that are going to retire out of there, you better have a plan to backfill, your line personnel, your electrical staff, because if you don't, all your successes can go out the window real quick.
Well, that's for sure.
So we're lining them up.
Now, you did tell me that the computer...
the data center.
Data center, thank you. Yeah,
that just got announced too, which will be down on South Lincoln Avenue. And that's going to be one amazing project. So, a number of years ago, when I ran my first mayoral campaign, big thing for me in the debates against my opponents were making Vineland what we call a smarter city. There's a lot of smart city concepts out there. We wanted to be a smarter city. And what I meant by that was truly revamping everything. Looking at our website, our social media presence, our marketing, any advertising that we would have for it, bringing better technology to the forefront. And we've done that. So we've did a new website, we did all social media pages, we did a whole marketing blitz, we've done our TV commercials, we've done a My Vineland app, right, where you could pretty much operate anything you need to within the city from your phone. We have a new customer service portal that has just been completed, which will be a great online interface for our residents, which will be rolled out very shortly. We've looked at a broadband initiative here in Vineland to become our own internet service provider. We've been working on all these things moving forward in hopes to attract technology companies here to become, I don't want to be Silicon Valley, but I want a little piece of silicon around here, right? So we've done that, and now the announcement came out this past week that first part of the phase of the data center is going to be under construction.
That's fantastic.
It's amazing, and it's a worldwide initiative.
Yes.
So it's very collaborative, and the gentleman that heads it up is from France originally.
Wow.
And they've been here and they've shared us a plan for the site. Some ancillary other businesses they want to bring with it here to the site.
Super.
Just everything we could have asked for and more, Jim.
Wow, that's fantastic. I think Ben Laurie was talking about working with you guys a little bit on broadband.
Yes, so there was a grant that came out, an
$23
NTP grant.
million grant.
Yes,
right? Yeah.
that was shared between Cumberland and Salem.
Right.
They applied together jointly. Salem wants to build out a dark fiber middle mile. And then, you need your beginning and then your end mile, of course. And Cumberland's still in the planning stages for what they're looking at doing, but we've been ahead of it for years, right? We've already been upgrading fiber, looking at our networks. We've had our consultants on tap. We've mapped out the entire city. And for us, our goal would be to finish our fiber infrastructure upgrade, build 2 new fiber rings on the outskirts of the area, and I would be able to supply wholesale internet to Cumberland and to Salem separately for what they need. Intergovernmental. Right?
Yeah.
So it's not like you're selling your soul to the lowest bidder, right?
Yeah.
And our goal is better reliability, better speeds, and better price points for anyone that needs it. And the southern New Jersey region is ripe and desperate
for sure.
for broadband. We have so many areas in Cumberland that just don't have access, right?
Yeah.
Senator Testa's done a good job with trying to get Comcast in other areas where they weren't.
Yeah.
But it's difficult for them too, and they answer to shareholders.
Yeah.
We don't, right? We're self-liquidating non-for-profit.
That's fantastic.
So, for us, it makes all the sense in the world, and I can help them. And yes, Ben has been a big proponent for this, and we're trying to get there. Unfortunately, the grant money split up evenly between them, so 12.5, I think, and 12.5 million. It's not enough.
It's about 33, I think.
Every bit of that, right? And you know what happens? Government's going to hand you out the first grant.
Yeah.
Then it's like a drug.
Yeah, you get hooked.
And then you got to hope you get the next one, and the next one, and the next one.
Yeah.
So it's a lot. But I told them once we're up and running, and we'll be ready to go, we'll be hot, and then you guys can tie in wherever you want. I'll always work with our partnering counties. Because I want to help them too. I mean, especially Salem, they've got not a whole lot going on,
No, and boy, I just realized Vineland and Pittsgrove Township above, so you're with Salem County, because my friend Ron Durham, who's one of my sponsors, he's actually right over the Vineland line in Pittsgrove Township.
Correct. Tires.
Yeah.
My man.
Advanced Treads. Yeah, he's a great guy.
He is a great guy.
He really is.
His wife Margaret's a sweetheart.
Yeah.
Just good family, great people.
Yeah, really are. It's amazing.
Good business. Around a long time.
Yeah, he's doing very well. Very busy.
Yeah.
And in fact, he has jobs available, folks, if anybody needs a job. When I see people begging at the Wawa, I tell them, you want a job? Ron Dorf's looking for a couple people, so.
We have so many jobs open, right? So when I was a councilman, it was a mass exodus when the previous mayor was in, right? People were out. Now, businesses have not only stayed, expanded, new ones have come in and have expanded, and they're flourishing here, right? We're the international headquarters to so many of these companies in the industrial park, and there are jobs there for people, and they're not just minimum wage jobs. They're better than minimum wage. There's benefits, retirement plans. They're very competitive. If you're not working here, either A, you don't have the ability to, or you don't have the desire to.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot available right now, which is great. So our unemployment rate is extremely low.
Yeah, that's wonderful. It really is. And like you said, there are good jobs out there. So if you're, I guess you can go to the City of Vineland website.
Right on the website, or if you're not sure how to contact somebody, contact the Economic Development Office in the City of Vineland, Sandy's office.
Yeah.
She has contacts for all the people in the industrial parks, and they usually send us their hires, what they're
that's
looking
good.
for.
Super.
And this data center is going to, hire a number of people, and they are going to be high-skilled technology jobs, which are white-collar and pay extremely well in there to operate these things. That has the potential to be a multi-billion, with a B, dollar project.
Exactly. Yeah.
All the construction jobs that are going to be there, and then all the computers, these GPUs now are incredible, the costs, and then the employee base. I mean, this is what this generation has been raised for behind us with technology and computers, and now we're able to bring it right to them. And speaking of technology and computers, we have a brand new esports room at the Vineland Library.
Oh, that's fantastic.
We're getting ready to launch and announce that probably beginning of May. They're still doing the stress tests on the equipment to make sure the network can handle it, but there's 12 or 14 units inside that room.
Wow.
Online gaming, streaming, everything.
That's super.
Yeah.
Wow.
And state-of-the-art everything, and we've really reworked it to make it very friendly. It's incredible. My IS team was in there with a couple of our other guys making sure everything ran smooth. I said, another stress test? Yeah, playing a lot of games. But they did a fantastic job. Tony Quigley, who's the head of that department, really worked with Dr. Lewis Amberts, who's the business manager of the library.
Oh, okay.
We talked this initiative. They went in there. It took a while. They got the equipment. They got everything running. The room. It's just incredible. It's a gamer's dream in there. And you know what they keep saying? What do you got for kids? I got plenty.
Yeah.
We got parks. We got new park equipment. We got sports. You've got food. We're redoing basketball courts. We've got esports. We've enhanced the library. We're working on so many things in the area.
That's great.
Yeah, to keep going.
Really.
A lot on the agenda the next few years.
I see.
Yeah.
We had a couple of our friends say hello. Patty Pollard.
Hey, Patty.
Patty is a wonderful lady. She donates a lot of her. She was a former Eagles cheerleader. Donates a lot of her time to the fundraisers, and I see her with Ron Jaworski and the former Eagle cheerleaders, and was a teacher in Vineland for quite a few years, and just a delightful person. And Zark Rejecik, do you know Zark, don't you? He's with the guy that does paving. Ricky Slade.
Ricky Slade, yeah,
Yes,
sure.
Ricky Slade's father-in-law.
Okay.
Whatever, yeah, he said hello as well, and we got many other followers with us. We thank you for being with us. We'll be back to wrap up the program right after these messages.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
Life puts a lot of demands on us. There's our jobs, those community and charity projects, our friends, and the demands of the family,
Happy birthday.
birthdays and homework, the upkeep and maintenance of our homes, cars, and possessions. Maybe it's time to really weigh out the things of greater importance, our relationship with God. Let us help you. New Life Church, Millville, New Jersey.
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Many people treat their health like a game. With Complete Care Health Network, it's easy to start your healthcare journey. Just select from our specialties and schedule online, by phone, or on our app. Our entire team communicates with one another, so everyone works together on your total health. Plus, we make it even easier with all of these additional benefits. Level up your health with us. Complete Care Health Network. No games, just great health care for everyone.
It's time for Insight, an inside view of what's happening in South Jersey. Join your hosts Anthony Fanucci and Jim Quinn as QVC brings you Insight with Anthony and Jim.
Welcome back to Insight. I'm Jim Quinn along with Mayor Anthony Fanucci. You know, Mayor, I was mentioning earlier in the show that Friday night I met Nick Luciano, who was part of the Luciano family here in Vineland, rather. And so he suggested we meet at the Pickwick Inn. So this was my second time to meet him there. And food was fantastic. I had a wonderful time. But what I did, I had a lot of time to spare to get out to the Pickwick. So I drove out Hansbridge Road. I wanted to see the tunnel that went under the road. That was really neat for the golf carts when Mike Trout and John Rubis golf course gets going. But what was really something is I took my time driving out that way and Panther Road and all the roads out that way. And I saw all the farms. It's like, oh my goodness, I never realized how much farming is going on in Vineland.
A lot. And, you know, of course, backbone of our community was always farming and eggs.
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
So it then became food processing when the industrial park really, you know, was birthed. But the farming community is amazing here. We have the best and freshest produce around in our areas, and people just don't know. Like for me, we're rolling into the right time of year.
Yeah.
Because I want to go right down to, like, you know, Mr. Ferrari's little produce stand down there on Panther and Cornucopia.
Yeah.
And get my cucumbers and my tomatoes and my red onion. And I mean, it's like every night for dinner I can go pick it up fresh out of the field and just, you know, for a few bucks.
Yeah.
And, you know, you're getting the finest quality produce you could imagine. You know,
as fresh as comes.
Oh, let me tell you. So it's great to be like, hey, go down to Mr. Ferrari's and pick this up. Sure, what do you got? And then you go up and you see, you know, Bobby. Hey, Mr. Ferrari, what do you got today? I got some potatoes coming up, and I got this, and I got that. And it's all the stuff, I guess, that, you know, they don't take to the block, or, you know, they don't pre-sell.
Yeah.
And they have so much, but we're spoiled.
Yeah, we are.
You know, heads of red lettuce, heads of romaine.
Wow.
You know, Pontano farms, that, you know, the Pontanos do such a wonderful job with their farming.
Yes, Tommy, I went by Tommy Pontano's farm. Yeah.
You know, the Tavios, and, you know, and then in our area too, you've got like Consolos with all the blueberries.
Oh yeah.
You know,
yeah.
The young men and women that are in the farming industry here are truly salt of the earth and are hard working.
You bet.
The Franceschinis.
Yes.
I see Dave Franceschini all the time, young Dave, and you know, and this guy works like a mule. You know, and when they get their time off, boy, do they deserve it.
You bet they do. The cold months where they can finally take a break.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
Yeah.
So God bless them. I mean, we're grateful to have them, and you know, you hope for forever that all these families are still around.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
You know, I talked to the other day. I hadn't in years, many years. I always liked the guy. It was Mo Castellini.
Yeah.
Do you know Mo?
Sure.
Yeah. In fact, I met his daughter. She was my server out
At
to
Savoy.
Savoy.
Yeah, Michelle.
And she gave me his phone number, and we had a nice talk. Mo and Karastessis and myself and a bunch of us got together to build the South Vineland softball field back in the 70s. And it was funny because the guy that was I won't say his name, but who was the recreation commissioner for the city of Millville, I liked the guy, but I was president of the league in Millville, and it got to be a beer league, and by the third game, half the people were drunk. And I said, we can't do this. I said, can't you mandate that we don't have alcohol at the field? Let them go. John's Bar sponsoring, go over to John's when you get done playing ball. Nah. And I said, well, I'm going to start my own league. And he goes, no way, you'll never be able to do that without the city or the county. Well, fortunately, I was able to do that. Maurice sand company had been leasing the field to Carastesi, so we joined up together. I got donations for the poles, which you guys gave me. I told you that story before. Atlantic or Vinyl Electric gave it to us, even though Atlantic Electric served us at that time. And my radio station, we did a trade for fencing and lights and all that kind of stuff, and we were able to really spruce the field up. And we were the most popular league in the county in men's softball. We had the best teams. We had tournaments. Even Rob Shannon ended up holding his tournament at our field.
How about that?
So I was very pleased.
Mr. Baseball himself.
Yeah, he sure was. But Mo was such a great guy and just a really good person, and I met a lot of nice people through that, you know. And as my cousin Joey would say, Jim, what do they all have in common? They're all Italian, and I love them. Every time we talk about that, I said, you know, that's the truth. Honest to God, I mean, I don't think I know an Italian person I don't like. To your company's, your country's credit, when I've been over there, those people are warm and friendly. Manja, come in. You know,
yeah.
Just super people.
We're feeders, that's for sure. We are feeders.
Yeah. But boy, the food over there was so good. And it was like almost going into Grandma's kitchen. They have like trattorias or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
They were small little restaurants, and the food was fabulous. In fact, I was saying to someone recently, when I was in Italy, I actually got to sit up on the altar with the Pope was sitting there. Pope John Paul the 22nd or whatever. He was in pretty bad shape. His neck was leaning. But Lou Marucci, Father Lou Marucci, put together a singing group, and my former wife was in that group, and I went with them, and it was quite an experience. How
about that?
Speaking of Catholic Church, do you know Steve Bartarozzi? Is it? He's a
Bertonazzi.
Bertonazzi.
Yeah, sure.
He's a priest now.
Yep, yes, he is.
Yeah, I was really impressed.
We were in school at St. Augustine together and St. Mary's together, and he's a few years behind me, but great guy.
Yeah.
Great family. He was destined for that path. That vocation was for him, and he was always just such a great guy when we were kids. I mean, another just salt of the earth young guy, and I really think he's doing what he was cut out to do.
He seems very happy. He gave the invocation at my cousin Harry's 90th birthday party. That's how I got to meet him. In fact, I got his number. I'm going to get him on sometime to talk about his vocation and all that kind of stuff. And it's nice to see, you know, he's in Collingswood is where his parish is. And I've also gotten to be very friendly with Dave Rivera. Dave is the pastor at St. Joe's in Hamilton. It's a big church.
Yes.
My goodness, really.
Oh, yeah.
And he does a wonderful job, too. So at least we got some good young priests coming up, because it's hard to find priests.
Let me tell you, it's tough.
I mean,
pickings have been slim for a long time, and you know, it's important. You know, having faith inside the community is important.
Johnny Burton was one of my buddies, and Keith Petrosky. That's his friend.
Yeah, that's right. Keith, our man Keith.
Yeah.
Hope he's enjoying his retirement so far.
Yeah, I got to get him on. I got to get his cell phone number from you so I can give him a call. And
I'll send it to you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, he's a special guy. My God, and having him and Bobby Dickinson and and then you told me Rick Cott's on board. That's fantastic. He's at
our PAL right now.
That's great.
Police Athletic League.
What a good guy.
Doing a great job.
Yeah.
You know, he gets it. You know, and
he
the
does.
kids really need an enhanced program, and he's got the direction from Director Ed Alicia and and the acting chief Steve Triantos, and you know, they were talking about what needs to be in for these kids for these programs, and of course he has our full support from the city administration. So we're looking for great things to come for PAL in the next year.
You've got some former lieutenant that's in inspections, housing inspections for Millville. Well, he lives in Vineland, but was it Millville?
The director?
Yeah.
Your buddy Matt Rabbi.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. That guy is
funny. He's special, that boy.
He is so funny.
Tell you what, he works hard for us, though.
Yeah, well, he's always
he's really helped streamline the department and has made some difficult decisions that were in the best interest of the city and its residents. And he's not afraid to take something head on.
No.
Yeah, he's great. Matt's just a great guy.
Yeah, he is.
His wife Meg, who was worked in the school district for many years and is certified in sign language and whatnot. Just great people. He's Rick Tanetta's neighbor.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
No kidding.
That was TS. Well, you guys really brought that street down, didn't you?
I tell you, in fact, Matt had me do a wedding out on one of the farms in East Vineland. Was friends of his, and
Oh, yeah.
it was really nice. I really enjoyed it. And do you do a lot of weddings there?
I do some. I did a lot in the beginning.
Uh-huh.
The problem is you can do a wedding every day.
Oh, I know.
You know, and it's so hard to fit into your
Especially
schedule
for you, yeah.
You know, literally between my duty at the city.
Yeah.
Because again, and a lot of people don't realize it, but I work full time at the city,
Yeah.
and work full time in my businesses.
Yeah.
You know, and people are like, how do you do that? Trust me, it's a lot of hours.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
for sure.
90-hour weeks I'm no stranger
Yeah.
to.
Uh-huh.
So it's hard to balance it.
Yeah.
You know, but if I have enough notice or planning, I'll certainly do them. And you know, I really, it's an honor to do a wedding for people.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I've done about 350 during the period of time when I was mayor, and of course now I can do them because I'm a mayor emeritus.
Right.
And I just did one a few months ago at the Sailing Club in Millville, and it's nice. It's everybody's happy. Nobody's yelling at you or anything like that. I remember one Valentine's Day doing 5 weddings on Valentine's Day.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't remember another Valentine's Day doing a wedding down at the East Point Lighthouse in February. The wind was whipping. The lighthouse was closed. It was freezing. I'll never forget that.
Oh.
That was a chilly one. But Thomas Lamanna, I got to do his wedding, and he just won again.
He's really throwing some hands, that guy.
Isn't
Huh?
he?
Good
He's
for him.
What a great kid.
Yeah.
What a great guy.
personality.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, good work ethic.
Yeah.
Good for him. I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah. But
I did a wedding for somebody one time, and the groom was 90 minutes late.
Oh boy! Wow.
I said, "Oh man!"
Yeah,
when the
that's
bride finally came out, those eyes were burning with fire, and I'll never forget that. And I just looked at him like, "Hey, buddy, I guess there's kudos for showing up, but boy, you're in for a world of hurt, my man." So, oh yeah. Unfortunately, that wedding didn't last very long.
I was going to say, somebody asked
That
me
marriage was over quick.
How
Yeah.
long the weddings usually
Yeah.
last. I said, I guess about half of them get divorced. That's what the divorce rate probably is. So no matter what you do.
Brutal.
Yeah, it is. But I've always enjoyed them. They've always been, something that I've looked forward to doing. It's a
nice.
positive thing.
I've had the honor of marrying some fellas before they were getting ready to go be deployed. You know, their husbands and wives, and we had one that had emergency deployment orders, and we had a situation because you have that little waiting period, right?
Yeah.
And we had to get, at the time, Her Honor Georgia Curio as the assignment judge to step in because she had to grant the okay to waive the timeline. So I got a call from the family. They told me what was going on, and the guy was being shipped out the very next day. He had orders.
Oh my God.
And they were planning a wedding. Never realized he was getting shipped out. Now they were going to plan it 6 months from now.
Yeah.
And it was in I think my first term as mayor, and there was some conflicts going on overseas, and he was being shipped out. Well, I called Rick Tennett. I'm like, Rick, what do I do with this?
Yeah.
And I said, I've never had this encounter yet. And he's like, yeah, well, this is how it works. And thank God, again, I got a veteran on my staff there that knows. And I'm like, oh, God. I said, what do we do? He's like, you need a judge.
Yeah.
And nobody was available, and it's got to be a Superior Court judge.
Right.
And he said, well, you know what? I'll call Judge Curio. Of course, Vineland girl, right? So everybody knows her.
Super lady.
She gets on the phone with me and the speakerphone and everybody, and work through it. That was an honor, and that young man did come home safely, which is great, and now has some children. And
that's wonderful.
Yeah, it's good stuff. They're to feel good things,
Yeah, I was just with Joe Spracio, former Cumberland County freeholder, who I just think the world of. He's shipping out soon in a couple weeks for, I don't know how many months, but at least maybe 6-7 months for deployment. He has 2 more years left in the Air Force Reserves, I think, or what he's been in.
He's a great guy.
Oh, he is. He's one of the best I've ever worked with.
What a gentleman.
And he is. He's such a nice guy. I had dinner with him last night, and his wife.
Whole family's great.
Yeah, and what's interesting, every time I mention somebody, oh yeah, that's my cousin. I mean, it's like, in fact, the priest, the one I was just mentioning, was Steve. He said, yeah, he's my cousin. You know, I said, okay.
Yeah, his mom's a Horatio.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right, Janice.
It's like, okay.
That's right, I forgot.
But what wonderful people they really are. And I want to thank my cousin George Castellini and his wife Kim. We had dinner last night, all of us, and it was Joe's birthday a few weeks ago.
That means, Kim, we really thank you. You know, we just throw George in there, give him a little sugar every now and again.
Yeah, Kim's still working for
Century Bank.
Century Bank. Yeah.
She's phenomenal.
Yeah,
George is great.
Yeah.
Longtime friend, colleague in the industry.
Yeah, that's right.
Again, just two more great people.
Yeah, well, again, Castellini, another Italian.
Yeah.
And it is wonderful. Truly, it's amazing. Anyway, I thank you, Mayor, for coming in.
Thank you,
Always
Jim.
good to see you.
Always great to see you,
You look
too.
great. Keep
Thank
up
you.
the good work. And Ryan Narowski, thank you for producing the show today here on The Insight from the beautiful Queen Restaurant, Lincoln Atlantis in Vineland. And we'll see you soon. Take care.
This has been a QBC television production, in association with our partners and sponsors. QBC broadcasts on Comcast Cable Channel 22, and live streams its programming on Facebook and YouTube. All rights reserved by Quinn Media and QBC, programming that serves the South Jersey market.